All right, so today we're going to be doing a shootout between, no pun intended, between these three 9 mils. We've got a Glock 17,
yep.
Glock 34, and Smith Wesson M&P 2.0.
Yep.
And for me personally, my main thing today is I'm focusing a lot. I'm going to be focusing on the sights, how it shoots and everything like that. But for me, I was really focusing on the grip. Like, that's in my head. How it feels in my hands and how it sits is how I feel like I can learn everything else, get different sights. But at the end of the day, it's like hard to modify the grip completely to suit your hand, right?
Correct. You've got to find a gun that fits you well. And you can learn to, once you become a decent shooter, you can learn to work with, with whatever kind of gun. But it is nice in the beginning if you can get one that fits you well right from the get-go, then that's great. And that's really where the M&P shines. It has better ergonomics than, let's say, a lot of other companies. There are a lot of people who grab a Glock and they go, it's a square brick. Yeah, it is. And can you learn to deal with it? I mean, I have, a zillion other people learn to deal with it. But if the M&P does fit your hands better, especially this is really king for smaller statured people, smaller hands. A lot of times it ends up being women. But if you're a dude with small hands, it's fine. You got Trump hands, cool. Cost-wise, they're their main competitors, so they're neck and neck price-wise for the most part.
Perfect. So we're going to just take these out there, do some same drills between each one, and kind of see how they compare, and go from there. Let's do it. We're going to do some dry firing of the Smith Wesson M&P 2.0. I'm going to compare that to the 17 and the 34 to see just how it sits in my hands. So if I could slide release it. All right, we're going to go say about... So high compress ready.
So do that a couple times, and when you shoot that next trigger pull, keep your finger pressed to the rear. Okay, now rack the slide, but keep your finger pressed.
Okay.
So you can feel that trigger reset as you bring it up. There you go. See your sights, press again. There you go. And you're just feeling that, what that feels like. So whenever you're ready, take as much time as you like. You can load up and try a few shots and see what that feels like.
So right off the bat, this trigger feels strange to me. The trigger.
It's just different.
Right.
It's different because you got used to shooting on a Glock trigger.
Right.
And if you had done it the other way around, you'd say the Glock trigger feels weird.
All right, let's get this. Let's see here.
Then we're getting nice little groups. So I say take a yard. You know what I mean? Because those are awesome. So just take a yard and punch the chest. There you go. Index that finger.
Can I do the same thing with the? Let's do the same thing with the 17 and then the 34, but the same kind of idea. Close up.
Nice. So don't underdrive, but don't overdrive it either. You just got to find that smooth presentation. Yeah, that looked good. That was a lot better.
Just right off of the bat between these two.
You want to be different. You want to have a different gun than the entire rest of your family. That's okay.
It feels so much better.
That's okay. I don't care.
You don't disown me, but this M&P is amazing. It just feels so good in my hands. This is Emily's, my sister's. Yeah. There's some modifications here, right? So
the princess gets all the Gucci shit. Yeah. Her gun is Gucci'd up big time. Okay.
Is that cool? It doesn't matter, right?
You can use either way.
Okay. Whoa.
Nice.
That's a lot lighter of a trigger.
Yes. And it's real clean. It goes right to the wall, and then there's your press. So that's what a really nice aftermarket trigger feels like. How's that feel?
So this one, the grip, I still like the M&P grip, but this trigger, can I put this trigger on that gun, on the M&P?
I'm sure that
or something like it.
Oh, absolutely. There's a ton of the world of aftermarket triggers is mild to wild, man, and you got to find one that you like.
So far, just right off the bat, just from firing up close and a few, like 4 yards away or 5 yards away, the M&P feels really natural. The way I can handle the recoil, it feels like
So
it feels stable in my hands.
It sits low in your hand.
Yeah.
It gives you a good natural grip, and it points well.
Yeah.
So Glocks are notorious for not necessarily pointing well. Pointability or pointing is what we call when you first drive when you first present the pistol to the target.
Yeah.
How naturally does it point for you? Now,
right.
I've shot Glocks for forever, so for me it feels very natural. But a lot of new shooters pick it up and go, you know, it doesn't feel as natural. You have to learn to do it.
And you know, I said the trigger on the M&P felt squishy,
Mm-hmm.
but when I was firing with it, I didn't feel like I was doing any kind of weird compensation with it. Whereas with my Glock, I felt a bit more jerky with the trigger. So my favorite trigger feel was this one. what's that? Do you know what?
McNally.
McNally.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's nice.
Yeah.
It's nice. You know.
So do you want to give me some, I guess, some variety of shooting ideas to put these through the ringer some more? Cause
let's try a rhythm drill,
okay.
right? So remember on the rhythm drill, do it left-handed for the camera here. On your rhythm drill, you're going to count it off to yourself. 1 and 2. Let's just go right to 3 or 4. Let's just go to 4.
4.
1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And the goal is each number is a press of the trigger.
Yeah.
Right. So I go 1. The gun's going to cycle. And I reset the trigger. On the word and, I'm resetting that trigger, bring it out just till you feel it reset. I see my sights. 2 and 3 and 4, right? And we want them to be the same speed, the same rhythm. They don't have to be fast. You can go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. That's the flinchies. And the flinchies happen, man. Like I said, they show up at any time.
You know what why I'm flinching too is I'm not letting myself hit the wall. So I'm kind of pulling,
snatching at that trigger. Yeah.
So I don't think it's the flinchy for me. I was trying to snatch it. I didn't feel it, and I was like, let's go.
There you go. That was awesome. That was great.
That felt good.
That was great.
All right. So again, this is really easy. This is fun to fire. It feels like natural. So let's go to my 17.
Okay. Yeah.
How was that?
That was awesome.
Yep.
No flyers. Great. Both of them.
Yeah,
We're shooting both of them well. I mean, again, we'd have to mark them every time and then start to see. But we're starting. But it doesn't matter. Like we're getting a nice group. You've got a couple little minor flyers, but it's no big deal.
Yeah.
You know, you're learning. We're coming along nicely.
So as far as my control on both the Glock and the M&P, they felt pretty accurately pretty much the same. The M&P felt more comfortable though, right? So
it's
just from purely comfort standpoint,
it's got the better ergonomics.
Yeah.
Like it fits
like
the hand.
The Glock just feels more awkward in my hands. Let's go to the 34.
Okay, so just go ahead and set that down, and we'll just take a quick peek at what you did there. That was awesome. 1. Now all the rest went through that hole.
Oh wow!
So we're talking about a group that's your flyer essentially, and all the rest went right there.
Right.
So, and that's just what a nice trigger will do for you.
So I'm not overthinking about. I'm trying to hit it in the square here.
Correct.
But I'm not. But I should probably maybe do, or we should do something more targeted, like maybe the black squares.
We'll go to the dots.
That way it makes it more.
Yeah, we can go to the dots.
More of a challenge. More of a challenge, but at the same distance, you know.
Sure.
Little right.
No flinchy. Good hit, almost. Yeah, good hit.
There you go.
So let's look at that. So this is a keyhole. This is 2 rounds. You can tell because it's kind of off shape. And then you got that hit right there. So
it's still low.
But still low. But that's okay. A little bit of flinching, that happens. Yeah. But look at I mean, our grouping is very, very small, and that's very good. So all we need to do is get you to not flinch it so much, and you'll be drilling those things.
Nice.
And that's, again, that happens to everybody. It's completely normal. It's completely natural that you want to overdrive that gun, you know, and start flinching it down.
Let's try my Glock, and it's the 17.
Yeah.
And see.
Just
right off the bat, if there's any differences. Because, you know, I'm assuming like a different trigger, could have an effect on your trigger pull, right?
For sure. Too light a trigger is a problem.
Right.
You know, you don't want that gun just going off as soon as you touch it. You know, you want, in a good trigger, it doesn't have to be super light. It needs to be super clean, if that makes sense. You want to be able to feel it predictably go to its wall in a nice, clean manner, and then feel that wall and a nice, crisp break. You know, that's what makes a good trigger.
To see.
Flinchy.
Jeez, these are all so low.
Uh-huh. There you go.
I'm just aiming high.
Don't Kentucky windage it. Aim for what you want to shoot at.
I feel like I've got the sights lined up perfectly, and every time I go
well, man, and you might be aligning your sights perfectly. You're not pressing the trigger perfectly.
Right.
Remember that right. Number one cause of missed shots, poor trigger press. So this is still not terrible. You know, I mean, you've really only been out here like our second day, so it's just not bad, and you're relatively consistent. So again, looks like you're pressing cleaner because you're not getting any right drift, right? It's just the dreaded flinchies. It's just and a little bit will do that. And then again, as we push that distance back, that little bit that's an inch low here will be 4 inches low, 6 inches low, right. A foot low, 2 feet low.
So this is saying that my trigger finger is okay because
yeah,
it's kind of
you're not getting
line.
Too much left, right.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. You're shooting straight, which means you're getting a good clean trigger press on it. Now we just got to get those flinchies out. So right. Try the M&P, and then we'll do
teach me the exercise.
Try to get rid of those flinchies.
Yeah.
Go to the wall. Go to the wall. Good clean press. Not bad. Not bad. Good. Okay. So again, you're shooting a very good group. I'm very happy with that. That is nothing to be ashamed of. That is good. All of these are actually very good. So we're getting that. You tell me what you think you see.
Low to the right. So my trigger finger, I need to work on my trigger finger on this. So my trigger finger on my 17 is better, but I've been dry practicing it, and I've had more time on it.
Yep.
But my my height is best on the M&P so far. Which means have less flinches or less.
Well, you're holding it well and yada yada. So yeah, and it's coming out nice. But all of those are good. To be honest, these are good. We can work with all this. They're not.
But the one that I'm shooting the worst off target is my 17. It's the best on the line, but it's the one that's the farthest off the square.
Okay, let's do some multiple target stuff.
Okay.
Right, because right now we just kind of focused on accuracy, a little bit of rhythm drill stuff. So since we kind of started talking about dots, we'll go back and forth between traditional sights, and we're going to shoot 2 shots at all 3 targets. So we're just going to drive the gun out. Okay, 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2. Right, and we're just looking for 2 hits, 2 hits, 2 hits.
And are you aiming for just center
chest? So remember, you're going to start. It's easier for left-handers to go right to left. Easier for right-handers to go left to right. So just start. We're not trying to make it harder on ourselves. Just shoot 2, 2, 2. Awesome. All good hits. All good hits. Do it again. Good. I also like that you've got good rhythm. I knew you would as a musician. But good. Those shots sounded even. It wasn't 1 2 1 2 1 2. It was 1 2 1 2 1 2, and that's what we want to start building. That
I will say that though, at this speed, I'm not completely resetting my sights. I'm not I've got my eye kind of on it, but I'm just aiming for center mass kind of thing.
And that's fine at this distance as you're pushing your speed. But see, you're already building that ability to do that. You're right. At this speed, or at this distance, at that speed, I don't have to see a perfect sight picture. So that we'll talk about this real quick. So we talk about seeing an acceptable sight picture. And what does that mean? Well, acceptable for what? Acceptable for the shot that I need to make.
Right.
If we're shooting a 1-inch dot,
that's not going to work.
You had better have eyeballs on the, your sight picture has to be super, super crystal clear, right? We're shooting, keep it on the chest, keep it in the A-zone box, right? So yeah, if you can get away with a sloppier sight picture, can you? Sure. And should you? As long as you're keeping them on there, go for it. Yeah. As we push our distance back, you'll have to tighten that sight back up. You'll be a little slower. Everyone is, because because it's going to require more accuracy, right?
Right.
So that's something like an A zone.
Staying in the square.
So yeah,
yeah, enough.
It's a line cutter. But yeah, that's cool. You know, good shots. Again, we're keeping them. That was, but yeah, you know, getting some good shots in there. Those are there from before. Nothing outside, so good.
So let's switch it up. I'll do my Glock now. This is my 17.
Okay, very good. I'd love you to do that again. So,
I did it again.
That's okay. All right, great.
Try again one more time, huh?
Yeah. Awesome. One flyer, no big deal. That happens. But otherwise, excellent.
As far as the accuracy between this and the M&P, it really doesn't. It didn't make much of a difference.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
Now let's do the 34 with the sights.
With the dot.
The dot.
Yeah, with a dot on it. So if you're going to shoot with the dot, do not pay one bit of attention to the irons. You're just looking for the dot. Pop, 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 pop.
All right, good.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Okay. How'd that feel? Give it another go.
Good.
Give it another go.
The dot is more confusing at first. I'm just not used to it.
Not used to it, and it's just something else to contend with. But
I was pretty accurate.
and I'll remember that also. You've got it. That's my wife's cheating gun. It's a tack driver, and it's got a sweet trigger in it, and that dot, and a good barrel. And I mean, she gets all the Gucci.
She modded it.
Yeah, Princess gets what she wants. Anyway, so this is always going to be your best target as a left-hander, because right, this is the you know, you're shooting to your best side, right?
Right.
So the shots are normally, see how, if we back up, see how they're starting nice and tight, a little bit bigger, and it's not bad, this is normal, starting to spread.
Yeah.
And that's the wobbles as you're moving the gun across, right?
All right, so let's push it back.
Yeah.
What would be something that would be physically challenged where I have to pause a little bit to see, like, how many distance?
Okay, let's try.
Let's make it challenging.
Let's make it challenging. Okay. All right, there. I need you to shoot 3 headshots.
3 headshots.
1, 2, 3.
All right.
Yeah. So we're just going to have to go as fast. You go as fast as you feel comfortable making those shots. Good hit. Good hit. Good hit.
All right,
Those are all awesome hits.
So that was square.
Squall in the face.
That's right.
Just about squall in the face.
Yeah, a little low.
And then just a hair to your left.
Sure.
Now remember, that's also, we're shooting at a 2D target, a flat piece of cardboard, and you're starting to hit it at an angle. So weird stuff starts to happen when they start to get further away from you.
Right.
It's a visual thing. But it's still in there. All 3 of those are solid hits. That was excellent. But you see how you had to slow it down to do it?
Yeah. Let's go with I got 2 shots. Oh, wait. I got 3 shots here. I'm good.
And there you go.
Just what I need.
Just all I need. Just a hair. That last one was is that one that's just off to the left.
I see that.
See it? So you notice how you're consistently shooting that target a little to the left. So that's also a little bit of swing as you're swinging. Because you're swinging to the left, right? So that's you're over swinging, and that's hard to.
But I got the flinches taken care of on that one.
Yeah, and on that one too, because it's just left. But that's swing. As you're swinging the gun.
Swinging, yeah.
Yeah. So looks like 1 low. All the rest.
That's with the flinchy that I did.
But you knew it, right? You knew it when you did it, and that's awesome because that tells you, that starts to build the ability as a shooter to go, oh, I know I fucked that up. I need to make the follow-up shot and correct it.
I'm happy with those though.
I'm very happy
I
with
wasn't
those.
flinching anymore.
Yeah. This is excellent. We couldn't ask for better. This is great stuff. That was already there. And so mostly excellent. This one is still good. It's just, that's just as you're swinging the gun to the left, you're getting that overdrive as you swing. That's just learning to settle it out smoother. But awesome.
Can we reload and just push the distance now to the farthest, to the max? Sure. What's like at my level? Do you think that we could pull back and still get some?
You can keep them on the target.
But still head.
Let's try 10 to 12 to 15. So this is 10-ish yards.
10 yards.
Oh, so put it back in battery. See it? Just give it a smack on the back. See, it's not quite there. There you go. Good. Up here.
At 10 yards, I feel good.
Up here. One.
But
two.
my flinchy on the first one. No, that was there. Yeah, that was it.
There.
Real bad on the first one, but I felt it. I felt the flinch.
So, but you see how when we start pushing our distance, remember you were flinching before, and they were like, oh, just like an inch low on those dots when we first started.
Yeah.
Right, and that was like 3.5 yards or whatever. Right. And so that's what I was talking about. As we push our distance, that small 1 inch starts to look like that.
Those tiny bad habits are
get amplified big time.
Let me try the 17.
So you're asking like, where do people start to come apart? And I said in that 10 to 10-ish yard range is where a lot of people, if they let's say shoot a lot, really start to unravel. Okay, next
Oof, man, this is bad.
No, not really, because we're talking too low. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. However many you fired.
8 total.
So you shot too low. Yeah. Okay, that happens, and they're low and right, shockingly enough. But all the rest of those are not terrible. So I'd say 10 yards is kind of a max, not your max zone, but like a max comfort zone.
Right.
You know what I mean? Where you can still hit things. And again, we're shooting at something relatively small.
Right.
If we say, hey, just keep it on the paper, that's why we don't do that. We say, let's keep it
smaller
on something small so that we can, on our worst day, at least get it on the paper.
Can we pull back some more? Let's pull it back. That's at 10.
That's at 10. So let's look at like 12.
Man, it's far away now.
Uh-huh.
Okay, buddy. See if I can find you. Shit. There we go.
Wow. I don't know how many you fired, but
I fired
1,
8 or
2,
9.
3, 4. That was there before. 5, 6. Looks like that's a keyhole. 7, 8, 9. Yeah. So of that, we kind of what 1, 2, 3, 4. So a good 5 or 6 of those.
6 out of 9.
Yeah, 6 out of 9 are in there.
3 were low.
And 3 were low and whatever. Yeah, so that's not terrible.
Yeah.
That's not terrible.
All right, let's see what it is with the 17. Nine again. The Glock 17. Where did I hit? Where am I 9?
That was.
No,
you can't tell if that was punched or there. That was right there. So it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4. I was already there. 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe 9 right there. See, that one.
Or no.
Or there. Yeah. So somewhere. So yeah, maybe we just didn't mark that one.
So again, my first few, my first few are there. I could tell.
Yep.
And as soon as I keep firing,
you settled down. Yeah. Got better on the sights, better on the trigger, better on your grip. Put all those variables together, and you started getting them up there. So but still not bad. Yeah. Still not bad because we're pushing. So you see what happens with every yard we move past. Really 7, but for sure 10. How everything starts to.
Yeah.
It starts to really go from there. If you want to take it at 15, and then if you want to go to the end of the tires, just see if you can keep it on there.
Yeah, let's do 15.
Up to you. Yeah,
let's do 15. So I'll shoot them both, but let's do the M&P.
Okay. One more. There you go. Let's just see what that looks like. Okay. Okay.
I hit it.
Yeah. So, looks to me like 1. That could be 2. I think that might be 2. How many did you fire? 4, 5?
3, 4.
So yeah, so 1. That's probably 1, 2, and that's probably 4. So
to the right.
To the right, but your up and down was not bad because you're not dropping them down into here.
So that was more about my trigger pull there.
Yeah, that's not bad shooting at all.
All right, let's try the 17, the Glock 17.
Awesome.
Oh, there's one guy.
So you had one. That's just a flinchy. There's another there. Looks like, I can't tell if it's one or two. And oh, there you go. Nice. So you're on there. And
yeah, right there.
I think that was marked before.
Yeah.
So again, not terrible. So you're at what, 15, 16-ish yards, and you're keeping them, with the exception of one flyer, on something like that.
All right, I'm gonna. Well, let me try this one and stop from that 12 and see how many I missed.
Let's go for it.
All right, bottom left square. Here we go, baby. I can see you from here. That's all.
A little high.
Huh.
A little high. Settle down. Settle down. Settle down. Good hit. Punched it. I'd stop there.
Stop while you're ahead
for the camera.
With
These are those ones I called you high.
High. Surprising I went
that's
high.
That's your center punch.
Interesting.
Whatever. That's not bad at all. So we were struggling at 3.5 yards on dots at the beginning of today, and now we're punching 1-inch squares at
warming up is good. All right. So after shooting all three, I feel like obviously the Glock 17 and the Glock 34 are pretty close to one another. Come on, a little closer. So the Glock 34 and the Glock 17 felt pretty close to one another, like from my perspective. The only differences were the mods that she had, like the trigger, the modified trigger, and the red dot. But as far as just the grip comfort, the M&P felt really more comfortable in my hand, and that was really the deciding factor for me. I think, things you can get around with, getting another trigger, another sight, but the grip itself is like night and day. But as far as what that did for my shooting, it didn't do anything for my shooting. So I think that at the end of the day, learn to shoot well, right? But at the same time, comfort helps. I guess that's the takeaway.
That is, you have summed it up just about perfectly, I think. Yeah, people will obsess about which gun they prefer, this or that, or some. You'll get people who are brand loyalists. I love XYZ brand. That's cool, as long as it's any of the top, 3 or 4 brands of popular pistols out there. They all make good stuff. You got to get one that fits you well, and then after that, you've got to spend the time. The time out here, the time dry training, as you learned, that was very helpful for you, I think. But time out here, you got to learn to shoot, and then after that, you can start making more refined choices, like, oh, I prefer these sights, or I like this style trigger. Well, once you have a couple thousand rounds downrange, that you've sent down there yourself, you can decide, hey, I want to try this, or I like this, or I like that, and you'll make friends within the shooting community. Guys like me who own a bunch of crap that you can bring out here and you can lay hands to is very helpful. If you're not one of those people, a lot of indoor ranges and things like that will rent you a gun. They have a lot because they want to sell it to you, so they'll let you rent it to try it out. And if you don't have access to somebody, you say, oh, I've got it narrowed down to 2 or 3 choices, go to an indoor range and rent them.
Right.
And they'll rent them to you relatively inexpensively, and you can go there and shoot them back to back. And that helps you make a more informed choice, about what you like.
That's great. So. All right.
Guys, if you're liking the content, please chuck a like on the video, and also don't forget to subscribe. That really helps me with the algorithm to get this video viewed by more of you guys.